Welcome to Bunniphish Crafts. I'm your host Heather, known as Bunniphish on Ravelry, Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon. Today is Monday, the 26th of November, 2018. This is episode 27. Grab some sticks and string and come sit with me. How are you guys doing? I am okay, but it is just after 5 a.m. I've been awake for a little over an hour. No reason, just my body was like, hey, get up and get out of bed. So I have been trying to find time to record during the daylight hours, and that has not happened in a couple weeks, maybe more than a couple weeks, I don't know, a while. So yeah, 5 a.m. it is. What do we have? We have the finisher frog knit along is going on, and I have not been to Ravelry at all. I am sorry. I'm so sorry. I will do my very best to get over to Ravelry and open threads if someone else in the group hasn't already opened them. And yeah, I'm super sorry about that, dropping the ball on my own knit along. But if you have pictures of anything you have finished since November 1st, as soon as that thread is open, or if it's already open, go throw them in there, and I will try to get over there as soon as possible. Life has been super crazy. We had parent-teacher conferences since the last time I talked to you, and that just wiped me out. 2 days in a row of talking to parents and trying to explain why knitting and crochet is beneficial to kids, and having to field a whole bunch of questions from people who weren't trying to be rude but were just kind of rude. Like, what's the point of this? Okay, thanks for coming at me so strong. It was just exhausting. I was exhausted. And I am knitting while I'm talking to you and realize that I just dropped a stitch. Okay, all better, all fixed. I'll show you this in a few minutes. Yeah, it was exhausting and it wore me out, and then Thanksgiving happened, and I hope you had a good one if you're in the US. Yeah, it was just so much. A lot of socializing when I am a super introvert. Exhausting. It was super exhausting. Speaking of parent-teacher conferences, I have the first session of my handcraft club tomorrow. So 34, maybe 36 students signed up. We will see how many of those students show up tomorrow. I know a few of them won't be there because they have cheerleading, so they can only come on Thursdays. But I am a little daunted by the prospect of that many students. There will be 3 other adults in the room, so I'm not that worried about it. And realistically, probably a third of the students who sign up won't show up, because that's pretty standard. But still, it's been daunting. And I have been spending a lot of my crafting time prepping for the Knit and Crochet Club, because I am starting their first projects for them. Almost 0 of those students know how to knit or crochet. I think I have maybe 5 of the 36 already know how to knit and crochet or crochet. So that's a lot of teaching, and I don't want to waste, there's only 7 sessions. I don't want to waste the first session teaching people how to cast on or do a foundation chain and all of that. I just want them to dive right in and see if they like knitting or crocheting, and then down the line I will teach them how to cast on or hook on a new project. But I just feel like it's only an hour, and with that many students, they'll make no progress, and I want them to make progress because it's not fun to work on a project when you make no progress. Everybody knows this, right? That's why we have progress markers and stuff, to show us where we've been so that we can see that we've actually made progress. So yeah, I don't have them all started for tomorrow, but I do have probably half of the project started, and I'm not going very far. For knitting, I'm doing cast on the first row, and well, I guess it's the same for crocheting, just so they have a little bit started. They don't have to worry about the very first fiddly bits, because for me, it takes, I'm doing 20 stitches, so you know, that just takes me a couple minutes to set up each project. It could take them over an hour to make the same progress. Okay, let's talk about, you know, actual knitting that let's talk about knitting that you can't see really quick. Not even knitting. I have 2 finished objects that I can't show you. Both were crocheted. One was a baby hat with little bear ears and an ear flap. And I know I said that I was making one. Did I have one made? I don't think I had the other one made last time on the podcast. So I've made 2 of those, one knit, one crochet, on commission for some teachers at my kids' school. And then I made another woodland wolf cowl by Heidi May using Hometown USA Lion Brand yarn in something peacock. It's like a turquoisey tealy color and a dark red, for the same woman who I made the purple one for. I made one for her son. But I was so excited to get those to the teachers and get paid for making them that I forgot to take pictures. Yeah, so they're not even going to be on Instagram. They're just some things that I've made in the past 3 weeks. I guess it hasn't been 3. It's been like 2.5. But I do have some things that I can show you. I will also say that a lot of my knitting time has also gone to a giant Christmas project, which I will not discuss here, but you know what I'm talking about. So the first finished object are a pair of shorty socks using my Scraposaurus sock recipe, not recipe, pattern. Scraposaurus socks pattern. Not completely, because I don't even follow my own patterns completely. Whatever, it's a thing. I used the Yarn Geek Fibers yarns. I had a full mini of this aqua color, and then I used the leftovers from my socks of, can you see there are 3 different colors in this grayish section? One right here, one right here, and one right here. I did not transition those at all. I just used the chunks and then transitioned back into the aqua color. Realized I wasn't going to have enough of that to finish the sock. Put in this purple scrap. Got to the what was this, cuff, and realized that I did not have enough of the purple color to finish the cuff, so I threw a dark green on of the same yarn. I don't know the colorway names. I'm really sorry. If I think about it, I will put them on the Ravelry project page, which I hope I will be making shortly. for these. But yeah, these were super quick. I made them over 2 days, and I really, really like my Scraposaurus socks pattern. I think they turn out super cute. Other things that are different is that I used a heel flapping gusset on these socks instead of a short row heel, as is dictated in the pattern. Yeah, I think that's most of the information on these. I worked them on a US size 0, which is a 2.0 millimeter needle, 2 at a time, which I don't do very frequently, but I wanted these to match. I knew I was going to run out of yarn on them, so 2 at a time. This is just going to be a sock episode, by the way. I finished the Regia Perfect socks. Obviously, because last week I only had this little tiny bit of this toe to go on the second sock. So these are finished. I'm pretty sure I had this finished last time, since I was working on the second Perfect sock. I started the second sock of this. Hi, that's invasive. I started the second sock and I can't find it anywhere. Stop. That's so rude. Shh. I had it in the car and I was picking up my kids from Ohio with their dad. And when I got home, I didn't bring it in the house. And now I can't find it. I have only skimmed through my car. My car is pretty full right now of stuff for the Handcrafts Club because I don't want my children messing with it and I want to keep it all in one place, and my car seemed like a good idea at the time. And plus it's all moving out of my car today. So once I get all of that yarn out of my car, yarn, needles, hooks, all of that out of my car, I will do a deeper look for the second sock of this, but right now I only have the one. And I don't really want to buy a whole new skein of this yarn just to make one sock. On the bright side, this is a project for my boyfriend, and he doesn't wear matching socks. He wears my hand knit socks, but he wears them mismatched. So if I only have one sock, he only gets one sock. And I've already told him this. I already told him that I can't find the other one and that he'll be fine because he doesn't wear matching socks anyway. So if I find the other sock, I will make it. If I don't find the other sock, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to sweat about it. The worst part, Molly, the worst part about losing that other sock is that it had my 9-inch circular in it, and I don't have another 9-inch circular. And the reason why this is such a sock heavy episode, Molly, go somewhere else with that. She's got dry skin, sorry. And I find it really, really irritating to hear her scratching. She does have special lotion for her skin. I'm not like neglecting my dog, but anyway, I don't like when anybody itches. It is one of those things that I can't handle. So that not having a 9-inch circular is really frustrating because my job as the lunch aide, I do a lot of knitting during, not a lot of knitting, but a significant portion of my lunch aiding is not doing anything. It's just walking around. So I knit and walk at the same time. And the 9-inch circulars are really, really good for that. I'm not really a vanilla sock person for myself, but for the bajillion holiday gifts that I'm planning on making, that's what I've been doing. So the 9-inch circulars are great for that. During lunchtime, I can do very simple patterns and walk at the same time. I just haven't been doing that. I really miss my 9-inch circular. So I'm probably going to pick one of those up this week at knitting. I didn't go to knitting last week because knitting is on Wednesdays and the kids didn't have school because of the Thanksgiving holiday. So I have to get that. And then my last finished pair, I guess this Regia sock isn't really a finished pair, but kind of. My last finished pair is Mara's Christmas socks. Here they are. And I finished these mostly because of conferences. I needed a project that was simple, but I didn't want to take my vanilla socks because I find I've tried knitting 2 at a time, Magic Loop. I tried knitting these at lunch, and when I do have to set down my project, I just drop it, and I lost stitches a couple times on these, so I won't be magic looping 2 at a time socks during lunch. But at conferences I needed a project, and so I pulled these out because I also don't not enjoy knitting these, but they're not my first choice, these tube socks, because they're boring. And when I'm sitting down and working on things and like just sitting, I don't want to work on boring things. But they had to be finished. So they are finished. This is where I was last time I showed them to you. I did all of this. Since then, most of the ribbing, I think to here, was done over the 2 nights at conferences. And then I misjudged the knitting. So half of the bind off on each sock is done in this miscellaneous gray. Mara won't care. It doesn't matter to her. This yarn is Premier Serenity sock that she and I dyed with Kool-Aid. And yes, I know that Kool-Aid is going to wash out and fade over time, but I just wanted to do something fun with the kids over summer, and they enjoyed dyeing. So these are another pair finished. And then I have a couple half objects. I started this sock, the day before Thanksgiving. Knit it on a 9-inch circular, size 1, but it's a bamboo circular. So this sock is knit on bamboo, and this one was knit on metal, and my gauge is different between the bamboo and the metal. Bamboo is much tighter for me, which is what I wanted for these socks, because this is a less hardy yarn than this. I don't remember I want to say it's Fairy Tale Yarns. I got the mini skein bundle at the Kentucky Sheep and Wool Festival, and this is the first sock. I did toes in this beautiful variegated color, and then the main toes and heels in the variegated, and the main body in this gray color. And then I took the second sock to my mom's house for Thanksgiving, and dinner was supposed to be at 3. I brought just enough knitting to get me through before dinner and after dinner a little bit. And then we delayed dinner until almost 4 because half of the guests weren't there. And then we decided we were going to eat because they were rude and not there. And the rest of the guests didn't show up until about 5. I did not pack enough knitting. I ran out of yarn on the second sock about here, about halfway down the foot. So I'll be finishing what I can of that sock with this variegated, and then I will be finishing up. Well, I guess I didn't have this finished before Thanksgiving. I had it waiting to see how far the yarn was going to take me, and I realized it wasn't going to take me as far as I wanted, so I did a roll top in Premier Serenity sock in charcoal. And so for the second sock, I will work as far as this yarn will take me, and then I will do the rest in charcoal. But I left the sock at my mom's house. I'm not having great track records with keeping track of my projects. It's because I didn't bring a purse, and I didn't put it away, and I didn't bring a project bag because I just stuck the sock in my pocket. Excuses. Whatever. It's fine. I'm going to see if my mom can bring it to her work, and I will pick it up this week, maybe tomorrow, so that I can finish the second one of these. And then I have one sock finished of this pair for my grandma. This is DK weight yarn, and I went with a shorter leg because I feel like my grandma's socks are always this long, and also I don't want to make her long socks that then don't fit her leg, because she is not a small woman. She had, I think she had both knees replaced when I was 5 or 6, so she's just not very super mobile. And yeah, I didn't want to risk it not fitting her calves or anything. So since she's not mobile, this is a superwash wool with no nylon. But I wanted to make warm bed socks for her, and I wanted, and it doesn't matter if they don't have nylon in them, because they are, what am I saying? She's not going to walk around in them a lot. She doesn't leave her house very often except to go to church, so they're not going to be in shoes a lot. Yeah, I think that this will be good. I used a Fish Lips Kiss Heel vanilla sock, and I have the second one. I did not lose the second one of this. Good job me. Hopefully I don't lose it today at school while I'm working. So here's the second sock. It's just barely started, barely a little thing, but DK weight works up super fast. This is a US 2 circular needle, and I knit this first sock over 3 days of working in the cafeteria, so it should go pretty fast. And then I will send these out to my grandma in the mail, unless my sister decides that we're going to go visit her before Christmas. I don't know, I guess I should talk to my sister about what the plan is before I start sending out packages. And then I have one more project. I have been going fairly monogamous lately. Trying to get one thing done at a time, because several things have been commissioned, and also that giant project is eating all of my knitting time. It's fine though. I want to get it finished, and I will be so excited when it's done. My last work in progress is another pair of socks. These are for my sister. They look like little ears. This yarn is Premier Serenity sock in a purple colorway. It might just be purple. I don't know. I have lost the bell band. It's been gone for a really long time. I'm knitting them on s2e027 2.25 millimeter needles. I will work the feet of the socks on magic loop, and then I will switch the legs to 9-inch circular, the bamboo ones, because even though those are those are US1 2.25 millimeter needles, the gauge for magic loop on these and the gauge for in the round on those is pretty similar, and also it's not a big deal if the leg is a little bit looser, and I will work those what is that, concurrently? Is that right? That's what I'm going to say. And I am going to use my Ridgeback sock pattern with this as the heel and contrast up the back, and this color as the body. This is yarn that she dyed with Kool-Aid with me this summer, so these are going to be her socks, and I mostly cast these on because I thought I was going to need movie knitting. We saw Wreck-It Ralph 2 yesterday, Ralph Breaks the Internet, which was cute. I didn't like it as much as the first one, but that's just me. I almost never like sequels as much as the first one, and it was really, really cute, and I did enjoy the Disney princesses making an appearance in it. But then I didn't end up needing this for movie knitting because I took a different project instead to work on. Yeah, that's everything I have for you. I will try really, really hard to see you guys next week. I really will. This coming week shouldn't be as crazy as the past couple weeks have been, so we'll see what we can do. I hope you made something fantastic with your sticks and string, and I will see you next time. Bye!